Speaker.
Madam.
Gentleman from St. Mary's.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think it's important to, we had some discussion on second reader what this actually bill does. And this bill, as amended, separates gender identity and sexual orientation and makes its own standalone curriculum. Teaches it to kindergartners and doesn't allow the parents to opt out. Now, I've had this theory about being an elected official that it's not as hard as some make it seem. You know, when you're in your community, you meet your constituents, they tell you their problems, they tell you their opinions, and then you come here, you try to fix their problems, and you vote their opinions. And when I'm speaking to my constituents about their concerns about the school system, I hear parents tell me they're concerned about the overall education. They're concerned whether kids are learning the basics. They're concerned about disruptive students in their classroom and discipline issues. They're concerned about school safety. And as they get older, they're concerned about extracurricular activities and their college readiness and whatever else that's in their daily activity. That's what the parents are concerned about in the schools. I've never had a parent come to me and say, do you know what? My kid has mastered reading, writing, arithmetic, science, history. Do you know what we need? More gender identity and sexual orientation taught to them. That conversation has never happened. And because I care about my constituents and I care about their opinion, I put out a legislative survey, pre-session survey every year. And last year I asked the question, on the topic of education, do you support eliminating the teaching of gender ideology to kindergartners through third grade children in Maryland public schools? The survey came back at 87.6%. Now, I know some of you are sitting there, well, you're from a red area. That was a survey. It wasn't an official scientific poll. Well, let's take a look at the Washington Times, certainly not a conservative think tank by any means. They asked a basic question. Do you support or oppose allowing public school teachers to provide classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity to children in elementary school? Came back 70% opposed it. Now, I got to imagine if we said, hey, we're going to make it a standalone curriculum and the parents are not going to be able to opt out, I got to imagine even more parents would be opposed to that. This is a radical bill. A radical bill driven by, and parents do not support this, Marylanders do not support this. It's a radical bill driven by a small minority of activists. And why the entire General Assembly here and the Maryland House of Delegates is supporting it, I have no idea. But I'll tell you, I do have an idea that I know parents' rights are under attack. And this war on parents that we have needs to stop immediately. On behalf of my constituents, my parents that I represent, and the children I represent, I'm happily voting red on this bill, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Gentlelady from Frederick.